Okay, let's go to question 17. This is from XD Platypus, who says, why do some people have a gift of healing and it works when they pray for people, but I can't do the same? If we're praying to the same God, why does two people's prayers give different results? So these are a couple different questions here. I mean, in general, it makes sense to me that one person prays and then someone else prays and then that prayer is answered. Okay, well, there's all sorts of things that could be going on there. Remember when Jesus approached the disciples and they tried to cast the demon out of this boy, and they tried, and they had successfully cast demons out, and then they tried this and it didn't work. And they go, why didn't it work when we tried to cast out the demon, but you just said, be gone, and the demon was out? And Jesus says, this one only comes out by prayer, or one gospel says by prayer and fasting. The two gospels read it slightly differently. The implication is that the same person the disciples could have achieved their answers to prayer if they had simply prayed more seriously, more fervently, fasted along with praying. That's the implication. So there is actually, perhaps there's something going on there. Not about the person as much as the method. But is every prayer going to be answered like that? No, of course not. God can say yes, God can say no. Just like he wouldn't remove the thorn from the flesh of Paul, or he allowed Epaphroditus to get sick and almost die. And Paul the Apostle left him, and Paul the Apostle knew how to pray, right? But he left him sick instead of just praying for his healing. He obviously prayed. The guy didn't get healed. He accepted God's will and moved on. So another thing you say here, though, is, let me read it again. Why do some people have a gift of healing and it works when they pray for people, but I can't do the same? Like, if you know anybody who's got the gift of healing and you know someone who's sick, you should bring them to that person and have them pray for them. It's possible that what you know of is people who by reputation in a certain charismatic circle have this sort of gift of healing, but all you ever hear are the best stories they've got. They don't tell you the stories and show you all the stuff when it doesn't happen. And so you overestimate the amount of healings that they're seeing, and then you think you're not seeing that. So you're undervaluing your experience because you're overvaluing theirs. And I've seen this happen, so I'm just saying that's a possibility. But if you know someone like that, like they got the gift of healing, and my friends got cancer, I pray and pray. I mean, just like get that friend over to that person if that's what it takes. I mean, I would just do that and say, well, maybe God has his reasons for why some people have gifts and others don't in particular areas. That's okay. He doesn't have to give the same gifts to everybody. It's not a competition. We're a body. Someone has the gift of teaching, someone else doesn't. When your friend has a question and you want that to be answered, you point them to the person with the gift of teaching. And you're not like, why don't I have that gift? Right? With gift of healings, it's different. It's like our ego can be wrapped up in it in some sense. But I hesitate to think that people have the gift of healing like an ongoing permanent thing, like they just go around healing people all the time. And that's a permanent situation as opposed to a temporary work of the Spirit. I hesitate to think that that's the case. And if they do, then they should be traveling more and visiting more hospitals. So yeah, my thoughts on that. I hope that something I share there helps you, XD Platypus. Yeah, I hope so.